and count as a scientist. Thank you.
Thank you very much, PCS. Please, let's take our seats. Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am delighted to join you this afternoon as we celebrate the inscription of the Gedi ruins onto the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization's list of World Heritage Sites. This event offers us a unique opportunity to highlight the monument's exceptional universal value as a global treasure of culture, historical and educational significance. The people of Kenya take immense pride in being custodians of magnificent sites of global importance inscribed onto the UNESCO World Heritage List. This includes, as we were shown here, the Sacred Kaya Mijikenda Forest, Lamu Old Town, Fort Jesus National Monument, Thin Lich Hoinga Archaeological Site, the Kenya Lake System in the Great Rift Valley, Lake Turkana National Parks, and Mount Kenya National Park and Natural Forest. Together, these sites showcase our country's rich cultural and natural heritage. The addition of the Gedi National Monument to Kenya's heritage inventory reaffirms our commitment to preserving our historical and archaeological legacy for the benefit of humanity. I appreciate the impact of UNESCO World Heritage in championing the preservation of humanity's significant universal treasures. This recognition powerfully drives sustainable development, defines cultures, histories, and identities, enhances livelihoods, and promotes tourism. We are encouraged by the acknowledgement of our efforts in safeguarding the region's highest number of World Heritage Sites. At the same time, we are keenly aware of the benefits of holding these sites in trust for the present and also for future generations. Our ongoing effort to enhance the authenticity of heritage sites throughout the country aims to add more to this list, thereby strengthening Kenya's global stature as a premier tourism destination. Africa possesses an incredibly rich and dynamic culture and natural heritage. However, current heritage monument approaches often fail to align with African culture context, creating a disconnect between international heritage discourse and local realities. It is concerning that as a continent of 54 nations and 1.4 million people, Africa contributes only 147 listed elements, representing just 10% of UNESCO's World Heritage Sites. This raises questions about the fairness and maybe the methodology and foundations of current classification and listing mechanisms, suggesting that Africa may not be receiving equitable representation. Maybe I have also contributed to that problem by abandoning my scientific discourse and going and doing something else. Maybe if I were around to help my colleagues here, maybe we would be doing better. But I will see what I can do to make sure that we do better. I have listened to the Director General, Mary, and just for the record, I spent 3 years of my university education in the same class with Mary. And if I wasn't doing what I'm doing now, possibly I could be somewhere in this building. Because many of my classmates ended up in scientific research institutions, in this institution, in Kemri, and in others. So I am truly privileged to be here in this compound. I was reminding Mary, we came here for some of the lessons on human evolution. And Dr. Leakey took us through what it was that we were learning then. And I am very proud of the progress the National Museum has made, and I promise to make a contribution to further progress. I agree that we are not paying our scientists as we should. Many of them are under the public service, and therefore there is need to relook at their terms of service, their salaries, and therefore, as has been requested by the Director General here, I will get the head of public service to do the needful, to get a small team to give us an assessment of what needs to be done so that we can match the remuneration of other scientists around our region and maybe do better. I am not doing this because possibly I could become a beneficiary. Maybe when I'm done with what I'm doing, I could take up my scientific discourse here or in another place. But I think they truly deserve the hemorrhage, the attrition, the many scientists who have left our science ecosystem in Kenya is a testimony that there isn't something we are not getting right. So we should get it right, and I will undertake the needful, Director General and the people who work in this museum. Secondly, I agree with Edwin, the chair, Mr. Obonyo here, that we need to protect the assets and the resources and the sites that we have. And therefore, again, the government of Kenya is going to work with the ministry to make sure that we create the necessary resources for us to protect, fence, guard those sites. And thirdly, I've gone through the many assets and historical artifacts that we have, and I have seen their condition. That is not how they should be. They should be in a better environment, because we risk actually these very important assets going to waste. And therefore, I agree that we need to expand the physical facilities at the museum here and at Uhuru Gardens so that we can have appropriate storage and appropriate display of the wealth of historical assets that we have. Therefore, the Ministry of Madam Umi here, we're going to get you 1 billion shillings to start, because we need to develop another building here, and we need to expand a bigger building in Uhuru Gardens, so that all these things, we have them locked up in places, we can display them appropriately. And because the largest beneficiary of all this is the Ministry of Tourism, I will get some resources from the tourism promotion. I know where to get the money. So, I know who is going to pay for this. And I want to ask our partners, if we can together create a small fund. I am willing for all of us to put together, maybe Director General and the ministry, if you can put together a team that can help us, so that even as we put in resources as Government of Kenya, if we can also interest partners, friends. Neil has taken the first step in doing what he's doing, I'm sure we have in our midst friends and partners who share the past with us, friends who have goodwill for this nation. If we can put our resources together, maybe we can also ask UNESCO to help us mobilize some resources so that we can better protect this heritage, because it is good for Kenya, but it is good for humanity as well. So again, PCS, maybe you can put together a small team and invite our development partners to see what we can do together. It is encouraging that UNESCO shares these concerns, the ones I just stated, which have been raised by African Union and individual African states. In response, we have taken resolute actions to address these issues. With the support of UNESCO and the government of Japan, Kenya will have the honor of hosting the International Conference on Heritage Authenticity in May 2025. I eagerly anticipate the Nairobi Declaration on Heritage Authenticity, which will inform necessary changes and enhance Africa's heritage listing. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenya's natural and cultural sites, including the National Museum of Kenya, are among the most visited attractions, drawing both domestic and international tourists. The Nairobi National Museum, a world-class facility, houses one of Africa's largest scientific collections, with over 10 million curated items. These collections represent groundbreaking research whose impact extends beyond our borders. Kenya is globally recognized as the home of human origins because we host numerous archaeological sites where important scientific research has uncovered definitive fossil discoveries, helping us understand the story of early humans. The government of Kenya remains committed to promoting Kenya's global profile as the first home of humanity through relevant ministries, departments, and agencies. Today, as we celebrate Gedi's inclusion on the UNESCO World Heritage Sites list, we also mark 40 years since the discovery of the Turkana boy, the most complete skeleton of the earliest human ancestor ever discovered anywhere in the world. I encourage everyone to visit our heritage sites and monuments and connect directly with humanity's rich past. The government of Kenya remains committed to conserving Kenya's heritage, including our national sites and monuments. Recent initiatives such as the construction of the seawall, Art for Jesus, rehabilitation of Gedi National Monument, and projects at Wajir Museum, Vasco da Gama Pillar, Thimlich Ohinga, Kariandusi and Hirax Hill prehistoric sites attest to this dedication. I welcome partnerships and collaboration with our many friends, locally and internationally, to advance this and other efforts towards culture, conservation, and preserving the past so that it can inform the present and inspire the future. Tourism is a significant driver of our economy, contributing through job creation, foreign exchange earnings, and community development. In 2023, we welcome 2.1 million visitors, generating 352 billion in revenues. Our global appeal as a premier tourist destination is undeniable. We are mobilizing investment to attract, as was said by the minister, 5 million tourists annually by 2027, and events like this play a crucial role in achieving this target. Cultural preservation remains central to our tourism strategy. With over 40 ethnic groups, Kenya offers an unparalleled diversity of cultural experiences. Cultural tourism, therefore, drives economic growth and at the same time strengthens our global connections. Additionally, our visa-free policy facilitates international visitors, enhancing Kenya's appeal as a top destination for leisure and business. The National Museums of Kenya is advancing the national product industry, a Vision 2030 flagship project to harness indigenous knowledge for economic growth. Guided by the Protection of Traditional Knowledge and Cultural Expressions Act 2016, this project has trained stakeholders in documentation and digitization, creating country digital registers linked to the Indigenous Knowledge Innovation Bank. This platform enables communities to manage access, negotiate rights, and share benefits, unlocking income opportunities. I thank everyone whose efforts contributed to the inscription of Gedi National Monument on the World Heritage List. I appreciate the dedicated support of UNESCO World Heritage Committee and the National Museums of Kenya in conserving our heritage. And between me and my good friend Gideon Mungaro, the governor of Kilifi, we agreed that we are going to do a wall around Gedi, right? And he has already provided resources to make sure that there is an appropriate road to the place. So I have just committed, and the people at the ministry, we must do a wall in to protect that site. It's only 40 acres, is it? Yeah, 40 acres is not much. It will cost us about 15 million shillings. So tutafanya hiyo, si ndio? Waziri, umesikia? Mwende mufence. So let us build on this achievement and reaffirm our commitment to preserving Kenya's heritage for humanity, for now and for the future. And maybe to wind up by saying we have many more sites that actually qualify to be cultural and heritage sites around Kenya. We must work together to find the mechanism for us to support the different actors and to work with UNESCO so that those can join the list of what the world assets and world heritage that Kenya can contribute to the wealth of knowledge about humanity, about culture, to the world wealth about all these things. So if there is anything that we need to do, I would want to know so that we can do it together. As Prime Cabinet Secretary has said, it's not always that you have a scientist as president. So I am happy to be, and I am a very proud scientist, that we can do this and we can make a contribution to the success and the progress of our nation. Again, to all of you, congratulations. To my colleagues who work at the National Museums of Kenya, congratulations. I would have been one of you if I wasn't doing what I'm doing. But I'm very happy to be here this afternoon. And I look forward to coming back so that we can again do what we must do around this compound. And Mary here, we have agreed we meet Mary, yeah? We agreed that we meet so that she can brief me on the things that we need to do around the museum, and we can catch up. Cindy? Yeah, because it's a very proud moment for me. In fact, when her name was brought to my list, to my desk for appointment as the Director General, I asked myself, is this Mary the one I know? Delegate, yeah. It involves people who I share a background with. So again, congratulations to UNESCO, congratulations to Kilifi. And I know this function would have been best if it was done in Kilifi. I'm sure we will do another one in Kilifi. Yes. Let me again, on behalf of the government and people of Kenya, congratulate the UK for making those artifacts available to the people of Kenya and for giving us information that would enrich the relationship between Kenya and the UK. Difficult as it is, complicated as it is, But I have told you one thing, I've said one thing in your presence, that we have many complaints against the British because of colonialism and many other things. But we also have something to thank them for. They left one thing in Kenya that works, and that is a system of government. We have a solid administration system that supports the governance of our country. I have said before, and I will say it again. We appreciate that we inherited a system of government that goes all the way to the grassroots and that works for all of us. Many people have tried to get rid of the so-called national administration, but every other time we discuss we discuss how it can be abolished. The more it becomes a reality that we cannot, because it helps in the governance of the country. So again, I must appreciate on behalf of the people and government of Kenya, the gesture that you have demonstrated is very much welcome, and it consolidates the relationship between our two nations. And as I discussed with the Prime Minister, that we are going to expand, we're going to deepen the relationship between Kenya and the UK. Already we have an agreement on a trade agreement between our two countries that facilitate exports of products from Kenya into the UK, that facilitates trade between our two countries. And we are very proud of the relationship we have with the UK. I want to thank all the other ambassadors. We value your friendship. Thank you very much for making time to come and celebrate this moment with us. And I look forward to working with you, from our friends from France, from Germany, from Oman, from Japan, from China, from Australia, from Eritrea, our neighbors here, and all the other ambassadors. Forgive me if I didn't mention your country. We are very proud that we have this relationship with your countries, and we look forward to strengthening the relationship between Kenya and your countries as we build what is now becoming a global village, that all of us are part and parcel of one another. So thank you very much, and congratulations again, National Museums, for this achievement. Thank you.
A round of applause for His Excellency.